Actually, this is episode 23.
Uh,
Yeah.
personally, I don't like. I don't feel a driving need to rewatch movies I've already seen. I can think of 3 movies off the top of my head that I'll watch again. No, four that I'll watch again, like at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Those are Emperor's New Groove, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Bullet Train, and A Silent Voice. I'm not really super interested in seeing any other movie again that I've watched. Like, I've seen it once. I enjoyed it. If it's on, I'll watch it again.
Mhm.
Not gonna seek it out.
See, what I was talking about is I would actively like turn off Casablanca if it came out.
Ah, okay.
I'm not gonna seek out movies that I've watched again either. And if I'm being honest, besides whenever I'm gonna show my daughter Star Wars, I don't think I would rewatch Star Wars at this point.
I sure wouldn't, but that's because I don't like them.
it Star Wars is a nostalgia movie for me. Like that is the biggest nostalgia movie for me. But going back and watching like the original trilogy, I hate to say it, but it's just not captivating anymore.
It's not very good, is it?
it but it is in a different vein a movie that having the knowledge of having seen it opens up so many doors to other like media, mostly comedians.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Like the number of Star Wars references in just like media in general, or like the number of Star Wars specials that different shows have had. Like if you haven't seen it, all of those then become either unwatchable or not nearly as funny or good in general. Like
There's no denying that Star Wars has had an unbelievable impact on filmographic society.
yes, so it's another one that like in that one in particular, I'm not just happy that it exists for the impact that it has had, but I'm happy that I have seen it because I was able to watch the Robot Chicken Star Wars special. Like I was able to watch Spaceballs. Like these other things that were so much funnier because I had seen it. And honestly, at this point, better media to me than the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And we don't talk
Well,
about
like,
the sequel. I haven't.
we want to talk about the prequels.
The prequels have their own right. Like
I completely forgot that there was like 3 sequels.
yes, I was talking about the sequels.
Yeah, we don't talk about them even less.
Yeah, the prequels have spawned so many good memes that they get a pass. And people are now saying, I haven't watched them much recently, but people are now like, especially in our generation, coming and being like, hey, I rewatched these and I like the sequel or the prequels better than the original trilogy, like, as watchability.
Yeah.
So I can't say one way or the other.
Yike.
Nothing. It's fine. We're good.
You should start saying one way or another.
I can't say one way or the other whether like I think the prequels or the sequels are better at this point, as far as like rewatching and going back and watching it, because I haven't seen the prequels in a long while. But I can't think of anything worthwhile that has come from the sequels.
No. Other than mind-numbing discussions.
Yes. The only thing that I that even comes to mind is a South Park bit with the member berries. And let me tell you that South Park would have found something else if it wasn't Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they do this every season. It doesn't matter if Star Wars had come out for that to exist. Whereas, like, the Robot Chicken Star Wars, that needed Star Wars to exist.
Yeah. Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper.
The only conversation that I'm consistently willing to have about the sequels
Yeah.
is I'll never forgive them and I'll never shut up about how they cucked Finn out of a complete and meaningful story arc. This was a bad move.
It's all good.
Because he was gonna do some like meaningful stuff to him as a person, as a character. He was a stormtrooper. He was like trained to give his life for a cause that he didn't believe in. And then as he's about to give his life for a cause he does believe in, thus solidifying his bond to doing the right thing, his life is saved. And then what do they do with him? Nothing. He does nothing after that. Nothing of worth. I was the only character I liked in the entire sequel trilogy.
So I never watched the 9th episode, which is wild because, like, growing up, I like I said, that's the thing that in my mind I'm like, this is my nostalgia thing.
Right.
So the fact that Disney fucked it so hard that I was like, I'm not even gonna watch the end of this is wild.
Right. I should also say, I also did not watch the 9th episode. I've only heard everything that happens in it. And I'm also playing up how upset I am because I do not care. It's the Star Wars sequels. I didn't think they were gonna be good to begin with.
See, whenever it got sold to Disney, one of two things was gonna happen. It was gonna be god fucking awful, or it was gonna be the best movies in the franchise, and there was no possible in between.
Right.
Because Disney has the resources to do whatever the fuck they want. So they could have made the greatest thing ever if given the right direction.
They don't do that anymore. Have you seen anything they've made in the last decade?
I haven't seen much of what they've made in a long time.
It's not looking good.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a lot of like internal and power struggle and management stuff that like sets mandates on what they have to do and how they approach things. I think a change in direction would be healthy.
Yeah.
But I'm not an expert, so no one should listen to me. I think you can just jump off here.
You're right. See, I also don't think it was... Rey annoyed me. And they had, like, God damn it.
How dare you speak out about my favorite woman in media who is not a Mary Sue.
Alright, well, next episode we'll learn about Rey.